Blake Lively reportedly turned to a trusted Hollywood ally during a turbulent post-production process on It Ends With Us, according to a newly revealed court document tied to her legal battle with Justin Baldoni. As tensions escalated behind the scenes of the Colleen Hoover film adaptation, Lively allegedly reached out via email in May 2024 to Ben Affleck, seeking professional feedback on her own edit of the movie. The message surfaced as part of recent court filings obtained by E! News and sheds new light on the internal struggles surrounding the film's final cut. Although the recipient's surname is redacted in the legal documents, contextual references within the email reportedly align with Affleck's career, personal life, and previous collaborations with Lively, strongly suggesting he was the intended recipient. Representatives for both Lively and Affleck have been contacted for comment. In the email, Lively claimed she became deeply involved in reshaping the project, alleging that she rewrote and reorganized large portions of the screenplay, which was officially credited to screenwriter Christy Hall. She also described navigating what she characterized as a chaotic leadership structure during production. In one of the more striking passages, Lively appeared to criticize Baldoni's multiple roles on the project, describing him as simultaneously acting as director, producer, financier, and studio authority. She suggested that managing creative decisions under those circumstances made the process unusually difficult. Lively further alleged that many individuals involved with Baldoni were part of what she described as a cult-like environment, claiming that unresolved HR issues compounded the creative friction. She wrote that formally directing the movie herself might have simplified the process, but instead she found herself negotiating around existing decisions, creative preferences, and egos. According to the filing, Lively sought Affleck's perspective as she prepared for what she described as a bake-off, a situation in which competing edits of the film were under consideration for the final theatrical release. She asked whether he might be able to watch her version, noting the runtime was just under 2 hours. The email reportedly extended an open invitation to Affleck's then-wife Jennifer Lopez and his children to view the film as well, emphasizing that she valued diverse feedback. Lively expressed admiration for Lopez and stated it would be an honor to receive her thoughts. Throughout the correspondence, Lively repeatedly stressed that there was no obligation for Affleck to participate. She described the project as emotionally and physically exhausting, saying she desperately wanted the film to succeed after investing so much of herself into it. Elsewhere in the message, Lively praised Affleck's body of work and mentioned that Matt Damon, Affleck's longtime collaborator, was also planning to watch her edit at the request of her husband, Ryan Reynolds. She reportedly expressed gratitude for the support, adding a lighthearted remark about the surreal experience of having Jason Bourne watch her movie. Lively concluded the email with humor, joking that Affleck must either be exceptionally kind or not as busy as he thought if he had read the message in full. The email's release comes amid ongoing litigation between Lively and Baldoni. Lively has accused Baldoni of sexual harassment and retaliation, with a trial currently scheduled for May. Baldoni has denied the allegations. In response to the latest filings, Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, issued a statement asserting that the evidence does not substantiate Lively's claims. He maintained that internal communications and studio messages contradict the allegations, and said his clients remain confident they will be fully vindicated through the legal process. As the case continues to unfold, the email offers a rare glimpse into the creative and personal conflicts that reportedly plagued one of Hollywood's most anticipated book-to-screen adaptations.
What began as a highly anticipated film adaptation of a best-selling romance novel has now spiraled into one of Hollywood's most talked-about legal and creative battles. It Ends With Us, based on Colleen Hoover's massively popular novel, was expected to be a star-driven success, anchored by Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Instead, the project has become the centerpiece of a bitter dispute, involving allegations of misconduct, creative sabotage, and behind-the-scenes chaos. At the heart of the controversy is a private email Blake Lively allegedly sent to actor-director Ben Affleck during post-production, an email that has now been revealed through court filings and is reshaping public understanding of what went wrong behind the scenes. The message, which surfaced amid Lively's lawsuit against Baldoni, offers a rare, unfiltered look into the internal struggles surrounding the film's editing process, leadership structure, and creative control. More importantly, it shows how Lively turned to some of Hollywood's most powerful figures in a last-ditch effort to salvage a project she claims nearly broke her. The film that carried enormous expectations. When It Ends With Us was announced, anticipation was immediate and intense. Colleen Hoover's novel had already sold millions of copies worldwide and developed a fiercely loyal fan base. The story's emotional depth, themes of domestic abuse, and complicated romance made it both beloved and controversial. Blake Lively's casting was viewed as a prestige move, an actress known for combining commercial appeal with critical credibility. Justin Baldoni, meanwhile, was not only set to star, but also direct and produce, positioning himself as the central creative authority behind the adaptation. From the outside, the production appeared smooth, but according to court filings and later revealed communications, the reality behind the camera was anything but. Post-production becomes a battleground. According to Lively's email and accompanying legal documents, the real conflict emerged during post-production. Editing, often referred to as the final rewrite of a film, became a power struggle between Lively and Baldoni. Lively claimed she was forced to step in extensively, alleging she rewrote and restructured large portions of the screenplay, even though the script was officially credited to Christy Hall. She described herself as effectively guiding the film through post-production, while navigating what she characterized as an unstable leadership environment. In the email, Lively reportedly painted a picture of creative dysfunction, stating that Baldoni simultaneously occupied multiple roles: director, actor, producer, financier, and de facto studio authority, leaving little room for collaborative problem-solving. This concentration of power, she suggested, created a bottleneck where creative disagreements escalated into larger conflicts. The email to Ben Affleck, calling in a Hollywood favor. In May 2024, amid mounting frustration, Lively reached out to someone she clearly trusted, Ben Affleck. While the court filing redacted the recipient's last name, the email reportedly referenced details that strongly align with Affleck's career, personal relationships, and past work with Lively. The correspondence included nods to his collaborations, his family, and his reputation as both an actor and director with sharp editorial instincts. Lively asked if he would be willing to watch her version of the film, an edit that was competing directly with Baldoni for final approval. She described the situation as a bake-off, a term used in the industry when multiple cuts of a film are presented for comparison. She emphasized that the runtime was just under 2 hours and reassured him repeatedly that there was absolutely no pressure to say yes. Allegations of chaos and clown leadership. One of the most striking aspects of the email was Lively's description of Baldoni's role on the project. In language that quickly caught public attention, she allegedly referred to him as a chaotic clown figure, overseeing nearly every aspect of production. She suggested that managing creative decisions required navigating his ego, aesthetic preferences, and prior commitments, an experience she described as exhausting and counterproductive. Lively also made claims about what she characterized as a cult-like environment among individuals Baldoni had brought onto the project. While she did not name specific individuals, the language suggested deep discomfort with the workplace culture and decision-making hierarchy. She further alluded to unresolved human resources issues, indicating that problems extended beyond creative disagreements into more serious professional concerns. Inviting Jennifer Lopez and the kids. In an unusual but telling detail, Lively reportedly extended her invitation beyond Affleck himself. She wrote that his then-wife Jennifer Lopez and his children were welcome to watch the film as well.
The public reaction to the email's revelation has been sharply divided. Supporters of Lively argue that the message demonstrates how deeply she cared about the project and how isolated she felt while trying to protect the film's integrity. They see the email as evidence of systemic issues in Hollywood, where women are often forced to fight for creative authority even when they are the face of a project. Critics, however, argue that the email shows overreach, suggesting Lively attempted to circumvent traditional studio processes by involving powerful friends. Some question whether her actions blurred professional boundaries or undermined collaborative norms. Social media discourse has been relentless, with fans, commentators, and industry insiders dissecting every line. Creative control versus collaboration. At its core, the dispute raises a fundamental Hollywood question. Who ultimately controls a film? Is it the director, the star, the producer, or the studio? Lively's email suggests she believed the project required her intervention to succeed. Baldoni's defense, meanwhile, implies that her involvement crossed into interference. The truth, as is often the case, may lie somewhere in between, and the court will ultimately determine which claims are supported by evidence. Why this case matters beyond one film. Regardless of the trial's outcome, the It Ends With Us controversy is already reshaping conversations about power, authorship, and accountability in Hollywood. It highlights how quickly creative disagreements can escalate into legal warfare, and how private communications can become public weapons. For actors, directors, and studios alike, the case serves as a cautionary tale about documentation, transparency, and the risks of blurred authority. What happens next? As the trial approaches, more documents, messages, and testimony are expected to emerge. Each new revelation will likely intensify scrutiny of both parties.
Whether the email ultimately strengthens Lively's case or bolsters Baldoni's defense remains to be seen. What is clear, however, is that It Ends With Us will forever be remembered not just as a film adaptation, but as the centerpiece of one of Hollywood's most dramatic behind-the-scenes battles.